Now in Lawrence County, the owner of an infamous haunted attraction known for its extreme tactics is facing charges. According to court documents, Russ McKamey was arrested at his home in Summertown on Friday after allegedly assaulting his girlfriend. Since Friday, more charges have been filed. He's now accused of trying to kill his girlfriend on more than one occasion, with the first incident reported on July 17th, a day before the alleged attack. McKamey is accused of strangling the victim on two separate incidents. His bond is now set at more than $100,000. McKamey has been operating his haunted manor out of Summertown since 2017. A petition has been active since 2019 to shut down the.
Hey everybody, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to a rather odd edition of the Witching Hour podcast. I am, as you know, your host, John Royceland. I'm actually bringing you a news update, not an interview, not a movie review, as it somehow really hit the news today for some reason on social media, but actually took place about a week ago, I believe. Russ McKamey of McKamey Manor from Lawrence, Tennessee, has been arrested. He has made bail. As you saw in the video that I showed you prior to me talking about it, attempted second-degree murder, rape, and domestic violence, multiple attempts to kill his girlfriend. Now, many of you might have seen the Hulu documentary, Monster Inside, great show, or back in 2017, I believe, there was a documentary movie called Haunters, The Art of the Scare, another great show, both of which always seem to end up going and dealing with Russ. Now, he would have, all right, so when he first hit the scene, it went viral. I mean, there were video clips and everybody is talking about, my God, there's this extreme haunt somewhere. They'll do anything to you and they'll touch you. And they're showing videos of people like spitting blood in your face and they're all wearing the ski mask and people are just screaming bloody murder. Okay. Traditionally, you walk through a haunt, small group of your friends, you have scare actors, dress up, and the element of surprise. They jump out, they scare you, they follow you around, they get creepy, they entertain you. I can appreciate people wanting to go further. Henceforth, the film The House is October Built, one of my actual favorite films. I absolutely love and adore that movie. And it shows how people want to go farther and further and push the boundaries. And in turn, it questions, well, how far can you really go? You know, what can you do? Every single person in their psyche has something that they are afraid of, whether they've realized it or not, been confronted with it yet in their life or not. Everybody has something. Claustrophobia, snakes, spiders, the fear of bridges, going out in the daylight. Everybody has something. Some things are triggered from unfortunate events that might have happened to them in their childhood, during the military. Some just have issues, let's just say, putting it nicely, high anxiety, depression, and so forth. So old Russ, he would scan, and people from all over the country, all over the world are sending him video applications. I want to do it. I can do it. Whatever. So if you are, in fact, or were, in fact, awarded to go into Russ's haunt, he had like a 20, 30, 40 page supposed um, uh, release form that you had to sign. It was all legal like, and it excluded him from any wrongdoings. But it would get set up. You would meet at a certain place. You were basically kidnapped, brought to this place, and you were with a video camera in your face the entire time, held by Russ, and he had his actors. And these people were pretty much remorseless. Um, of course, during his interview, he would probe and find out what all of your fears were. So he would sort of know ahead of time how to play the character, or how to play this haunt out for you specifically. I mean, there were things that were done to people that had, military tactics, which doesn't surprise me because Russ was in the military, I believe in the Navy. I don't recall exactly. Um, I don't know. The videos, I think, went a little bit too far. There are people that did have to seek psychiatric help and therapy after doing so. So does that put him into the blame or not? And I don't care about the legal document that you signed, but that's my whole point. You did sign this. You knew what you were getting into. Was he wrong for pushing those boundaries? Because that's what your intent was to get those boundaries pushed, because you said that you could handle it. Okay. You weren't going to see Jason and Leatherface chasing you through an old creaky barn with jump scares coming out at you. These people were testing your mental psyche, locking you into small freezers and units like that and chaining you in there, knowing that you're claustrophobic, holding you underwater, so forth and so on for X amount of time. Now, right or wrong, I'm not one to judge. I do know that Russ has his own little militia, his own army of followers who swear he's doing nothing wrong. I'm kind of neutral as far as the extreme haunt aspect goes. I do think that Russ himself, I think he was a bit of an ass, actually a lot of an ass. I think personally, mentally, emotionally, and physically, he got off on hearing people scream and inflicting that fear and that torture into those people. Do I think Russ himself should have been psychologically evaluated? Yes. Do I think he's going to be legally? Yes. Do I think he's guilty? Yes. Do I think he has done this to other people? Yes. It has actually been documented in, if I recall, one of the ladies from the Hulu documentary Monsters Inside. There was a lot of inappropriate things going on. So whether or not he forced himself onto, I can't vouch. I can't say. I wasn't there. I would never want to be. Do I think personally he would and did? Fuck yeah, I do. I think he's a disgusting individual. Do I think he's going to go end up in jail? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to serve time. Do I think it's deserved? If for no other reason than the over amount of emotional scars that he has inflicted on people, and enjoyed it? Yes. Yes, I do definitely think he's going to. And I think it's going to be so ironic because the haunted house, the extreme haunt that he ran professionally, is not going to compare to the haunt that he's going to be dealing when he's behind those fucking bars. And I will pray to God somebody makes a fucking documentary about that shit, because he is a piece of shit and he does deserve what he's going to get. The boys inside find out, attempted murder and rape. That's exactly what he's going to get. So he never made a penny off of this. Here's the downside to it. He didn't get rich off of this shit. As a matter of fact, for those of you who don't know, the entrance fee was dog food. He took a collection and donated it to shelters, I believe is what it was. Personally, I'm pretty sure he probably fed a large amount of the wet or canned dog food to a lot of the people that went through his haunt. Yeah. So, and in dealing with, I do know that he had moved numerous times, numerous amount of threats, life threats, bomb threats, whatever. I didn't even do my research today. I don't even know if it is in fact even still open, or since his recent arrest, if it was even still operational or not. Again, to each their own. I know what fears I have in life. I know I don't need anybody to push them in front of my face to find out how far I can hold on to without freaking out and shitting my pants and crying uncle. I don't need that. Some people do. Some people have issues with confronting those fears, and that's fine. I have nothing against that. Me personally, I would much rather deal with a group of friends on a Friday night and, some of my dearest friends, okay? I'm going to rattle off a couple names here. Dan Murder, his lovely wife, Kristen, and Ryan Ross. Dan as Grin, his lovely wife as Cheeks, and Ryan as Carnage. For years, they were the circus rejects out of Valley Farms in the original Haunted Hayride. I've been to it. I actually did a live video podcast from there some years ago. Had a great time. Absolute blast. It's fun. That to me is a haunt. And that alone is a fear for many people. Just being scared. Some people know I will not even go to a haunted house, no matter how fun it is, or people say it's scary. Not going to happen. Okay. Amusement rides. They used to have old, and still do in some parts, Ocean City, Maryland, not far from where I live. They still have an old haunted house. It's a small roller coaster that you go into and things just pop out of the wall and boo and scares. And it's total tongue in cheek. It's shit, but it's awesome. Those are the kind of haunts that I enjoy. It's nothing against those who want more out of it, who literally want to scream and shout, who want the haunt to be scary and not entertaining. Okay, well, that's on them. And I hope they find them, and I hope it satisfies them. And it's nice to know that those other companies that are out there that do offer them, they also have restrictions and they do offer safe words, and everybody goes home and is happy at the end of the night. To those of you that are Russ followers, you're on your own with this one, bud. I can't help you guys. I'm not a fan. You know, he did something for the extreme. I think at first it was supposed to have been something that turned out to be, he created his own monster and he lived in it. And I think that was his downfall. What he did to his girlfriend, he deserves to pay for, if indeed he did and is found guilty of, and if that's the only one, regardless. Anyhow, folks, that's what I've got for you. If in fact you do work at a haunt or you have an opinion on this story, please bring it to me. If you work at a haunt, I don't care what state you are in, how big, how small. You want a little bit of free publicity, bring it here. I'd love to have you on the show. Love to talk about it and talk about what is entail at your haunt, the whereabouts, the dates, and what it is that you personally do there. So with all that being said, thank you for your time. This has been a Witching Hour podcast news update. I appreciate you guys. Please hit the subscribe button down below. Tell your friends. It means the world to me. This is a labor of love. Doing this show is something that I'm very passionate about. So please try and help me get those numbers up. I do definitely appreciate all of your help. We'll talk to you guys soon. It is Friday. Have a great weekend, and I hope you guys are enjoying your summer. This is John with the Witching Hour podcast. And remember, as always, to please keep it evil.